Their homeworld invaded, desecrated, and on the brink of collapse. In a last-ditch effort for survival, they took what they could and ran. They managed to board a ship, piloted by a greasy deep space miner who promised to take them to safety. Though as they blasted off, the ship took fire from below, the mechanoids shooting without remorse. Without much fuss, the pilot pushed the couple into their crypto-sleep casket and set their course away from the now burning world. Now they hurtle deep into space, engines ablaze. They are about to crash, and we will follow their story.
Wha- What? What in the hell? What happened up there? Oh, everything was fine when I checked. We were flying, everything was fine. Damn. I suppose it pays to pay attention when you're not. My ship! The hell happened to my ship? Oh, those blasted mechanoids are gonna pay when I get my hands on them. Oh, looks like those two survived. With their cows. Well, let's hope they know how to work the land as they say they do. We're gonna need to band together if we're gonna survive the night. Here we go.
Ash, come on, honey. Up you get. That's right. What? Why can't you speak? What's wrong with your voice?
Ah, shut it, boy. Can't you see she's got sickness from the sleeps? Her voice will come right soon enough. Come on. Get your honey, and let's get inside. Get somewhere safe. There's a mountain nearby. We can carve out a place for the night. We have to be safe till we can be rescued. Life's savage out here. Where? You stupid boy. Can't you see? We're on a RimWorld. Come on, you two. We have to get somewhere safe. I'll spy a cave from here. We can get our stuff there, keep it nice and dry, out of the rain. Well, there's no rain, but it'll come. Trust me, life in the room is savage, and we need somewhere safe. I can carve us out a home for the time being, but you have to promise that you're gonna follow what I say. And why would we do that? You brought us here. You brought us here to die. You think I planned for this? I was headed for an herb world, far away, somewhere we could be safe. You know nothing about survival. Better learn soon, Mr. Philosopher. You're gonna need more than just your theorizing to survive here. Best you get the 3 ahead. Soon. I heard you guys were farmers, so farm. You brought some rice with you? Make sure to plant it. Just put some rice in the damn ground.
How long are you planning to stay here? Aren't we gonna get rescued? Didn't your ship have a rescue thing? Come on, we should have some sort of plan. Someone should be...
No one's coming. We gotta do this by ourselves. You know how to mine? Did they teach you at the academy?
Yeah, and to construct. I know the basics. What does that have to do with...
Shut it. We need to carve out a home for ourselves for the time being. Someone will come eventually, I'm sure.
Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Wild Dog, and I'm excited to share the story of the Three Dwarves with you. Hope you all enjoyed that intro and are excited for the adventures to come. Now, obviously, this is not going to be a regular Let's Play series, but it's going to be one that is embroiled in story, where these 3 characters have their own goals, their own needs, their own wants, and the obstacles that come, well, that's up to the RimWorld. We'll be playing on Cassandra Merciless, because, well, I find it's one of the best if you want a cohesive story to exist within RimWorld. Alright, so let's just do a little bit more explaining before we play for real for real. I am playing with a couple of mods, so that you guys know. I am using mods such as the Giddy Up and Go core set of mods. I'll be using a few others such as the vanilla expanded jewelry and vanilla expanded art, because I find those mods will really add to the artistic feel that I want to have when playing with these three columnists. I'm also using setup camp as well as simple sidearms and increase stack and pick up and haul. So those four are a bit controversial, I understand, but I find that they make the gameplay a lot smoother and a lot more real in terms of the story that we want to create together. So let's actually dive into some gameplay now. So obviously these three have just crash landed on this RimWorld, and obviously they don't get along, and they have a varying set of skills. Nails is primarily a miner. He grew up. All three of them grew up in a cave world, uh, just so we can enhance that roleplay experience. But they all grew up in a cave world where they were taught how to mine and how to construct basic things because that is part of their culture. As you can see, all three have similar looking hair colors and similar looking skin tones. That's because they all come from the same civilization, which is quite strange, but let's just say that's how their planet's terrain was generated. So, in terms of actual gameplay, this story is going to be one that's full of ups and downs and good and bad. It's going to be a crazy, crazy ride. But we're going to enjoy it alongside these three dwarves, or so to speak. That's what I'd like to imagine them as. Three cavers who decide to actually live in a world that's, well, not decide to, but are forced to live in a world that's rough and rugged and crazy, something they've never really experienced before. I hope you picked up that Nails is obviously like the deep space miner, Wolf is our philosopher crafter, and Ash is our mainly our animal handler and our grower. So these three are going to have this teenage relationship, and we have to see how that evolves and expands as the game goes on. So, as Nails said, let's get some rice in the ground. And I'll only be using certain crops in the beginning for the sake of roleplay. And obviously I could plant potatoes, hay grass, strawberry, heel root, etc, etc. But I really want to go with the roleplay and the story. So let's just say that they could only really afford to eat rice, because that's the only thing that they have. Until they perhaps find forage and stuff. So for now, let's just get some rice in, and we'll get basic beds in. So basically what I want for this channel, for this series, is to use games to tell stories, and to use games to educate people, and to use games to allow people to be creative. Because I am as an artist as well, but I find that animation for me is quite difficult, but I do still want to tell stories. So hopefully this will be a nice happy medium for me to actually do both, by using games and their animations to tell stories that I create. Well, as far as I can create, especially when you're dealing with games and different mechanics and different elements. So this is going to be something that's fun, something that's engaging, something that I take feedback from you, the actual community out there, you guys on YouTube. If you guys don't like something, tell me about it. Hit me up in the comments. I mean, I'm a brand new channel, so it's going to be something that we embark on together, which I think is going to be really fun. And obviously right now the world's going through a troubling time, so maybe watching a few stories here and there, is something that's enjoyable, something that's fun. So once again, I just want to say thank you if you've made it this far through the video. Hopefully it's not going to be too long of a video. I've already got it at 10 minutes. I'm aiming for half an hour, but we'll see how that goes. You guys must let me know whether you want longer episodes or shorter episodes. Please communicate with me, because you guys are the people I'm doing this for. I'm doing it to reach other people. So yeah, let's let's really get stuck in to what RimWorld and the story of these three dwarves, quote unquote, has to offer us. So currently, how I imagine it is that these three have now found this cave area, and this is going to be the base of operations, as far as they can tell. They need to be rescued, and they need to be rescued soon, but who knows how long that'll take. So they're building beds right now, they're carving out rooms. This is something that obviously has its own struggles and its own difficulties, but they are people who have understood how construction works and how mining is, and these people would understand this area of expertise, if that makes sense. So, yeah, we're just basically building out a shelter for them right now. Ash is busy planting rice, which is really cool. Um, yeah, and she's like, in terms of economies and stuff, the food economy and the animal economy is going to be mainly headed up by Ash. She's like our primary source of food, um, and source of animals and animal training and that sort of thing. So let's just hit pause and check out some of the wildlife on this map. So we've got rats, squirrels, boom rats, raccoons, tortoises, turkeys, ibex. A decent mix in the beginning. So the reason I've chosen some of the mods that I have, especially the giddy up, is because I want to have my dwarves or my colonists experience a life that's very at one, so to speak, with animals. So I don't exactly want them just to be hunting all the time or just to grow livestock to kill. I want a nice, decent balance, and they are going to be using some exciting exotic animals as well, and I'm looking forward to that. So that's also why I've chosen some of the mods that I did. If I can just explain myself as well for pick up and haul, that's a mod where they can pick up multiple items at once up to their carrying capacity. And carrying capacity is something that's naturally in the game. That's where when you create a, let's just do that now. When you create a caravan and you see that little, um, yeah, that mass capacity, that tells you how much these people can travel or can carry when they travel. So obviously, it's not like them just picking up like 100 pieces of wood. They can't do that. That's not what the mod does. The mod is very realistic in saying that you can only carry like 5 or 6 maybe logs of wood. Okay, not really, but you can carry up to like 75 logs of wood. Um, Obviously, we can attribute that to maybe the RimWorld's actual planetary gravitation being different, all that stuff. So, obviously, these people are not native to this RimWorld. They are not natives. They are people who are not from this area. So they might find that their eating habits change, their carrying capacity changes, their strength, their attributes. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they react and act in this RimWorld. Now, obviously, I've played RimWorld quite a few times before, and we're playing the RimWorld Royalty release, the new DLC, which I've played literally, excluding these possibly 10 minutes. I've played 10 minutes. Yeah, I haven't really done much, so it's going to be adventure doing the royalty stuff and the roleplay stuff all at once as well. It's going to be really interesting, so I'm looking forward to that. So what I'll do is basically during the day I'll discuss the gameplay things when I have to micromanage, and at night I'll talk more about the roleplay aspects. I'll be playing the game mostly at 3 times speed because, well, we want to progress. So I imagine these three now as like coming down to this planet and like not really knowing what's what, and they're very confused, they're very angry, they don't quite know what's what. And Nails is someone who was a deep space miner in life. He was born as a cave world tunneler. That's what he did as a child. And then when he was older, he decided to really push into that and became a deep space miner. Obviously, he's really good at melee, he's good at construction, and he's really excellent at mining. And he's like our main miner dude. He also seems to have some plant and animal, which I'm guessing was during random character gen. Not really going to use him for that because his whole job is being a miner. So he is someone who would have had lots of experience actually living and breathing and being in a situation where you constantly have to adapt and survive And I mean, mining is in real life. Mining is a dangerous occupation. So this is someone who knows danger, who understands how those things work. So he's going to be like the hard, rough. Well, yeah, I don't want to put too much into explaining character. I'd rather let you show character. I'll show you their characters. But yeah, that's who he is. He is Nails. Tough as nails. If we can just go with that. Wolf, on the other hand, was a son of a blacksmith when he was a child, obviously. And when he grew up to be a philosopher. So he's very good with crafting. He's very good with his mind and with his hands. And he's also pretty decent at constructing. Wait, what did I say? Sorry, ladies and gents. First video. I'm a bit nervous. But yeah, he's decent at construction, decent at mining. He's excellent at crafting and pretty good at intellectual as well. And that's what he's mainly going to be used for. So he's going to be our crafting economy. And that is also very important because they're going to be artists. I've installed mods such as the jewelry mod, vanilla art expanded, and statue of a colonist because art is going to be a valued and valuable economy aspect of this, because I'm not going to buy and build everything. Obviously, these people are not experts in medicine. They're not experts in everything they do. And speaking of experts, Ash. Ash is our expert cook and our expert grower. She is going to be literally the backbone of this economy, and if she goes down, it's going to be horrible, horrible, horrible. And obviously, like, I had to set up these characters using EDB's Prepare Carefully, but that doesn't mean that I've made them Mary Sue's either. If we just look at them, all of them are undergrounders. Obviously, they come from a cave world. They are quote-unquote dwarves. She is iron-willed, but she's a pessimist. She is a pessimist. She's got a permanent debuff of 6. So if we just look at needs, she's got pessimist -6, -5, -4, -4, -3. So luckily now she's got burning passion for work and opinion of a lover. And got some loving. So that is a decent mood to be in. But I guess from the place that I've chosen, let's just also zoom out again. Now, I did do a bit of looking, and when I did the test world for this, I chose a random place, I put myself down, and it seemed to sort of fit the sort of story I wanted to tell. Not to say that I made it easy either. This is not a very great biome. If I can just look. So obviously it had to be mountainous. When I chose this place, it had to have mountains because I want them to be completely self-sufficient underground within maybe the first year of gameplay, so maybe the first 5 episodes or so. Obviously there's sandstone, granite, and limestone. I didn't really care what stone there was, as long as there was mountains. It was fine. The temperature also affected it a bit. So the average temperature is 2 to 25 or 13 degrees Celsius, and that's going to be generally quite a cold area. So we need to get furs. We need to get warm clothing very soon, because the winters might hit hard, and that might carry on into like the springs as well. Might be a cold spring. And also here, like, the most annoying part of this map, but something that we'll have to deal with, is the 40 out of 60 days grind. That means for quite a couple of days, they're going to have no food being able to grow, and no food for their livestock either. So it's going to be difficult trying to manage that. So obviously, being people who come from a cave world, they're going to be more akin to dealing with stone and rock and stuff. So I'm not going to be too crazy about using wood and other materials. Obviously, they'll use wood for beds and things that need to be comfortable, and things that require wood straight out. Like, you can't make stone cutter tables out of stone. You need to make them out of wood or out of steel. So yeah, it's going to be a very similar. I'm going to try and make this as similar to Dwarf Fortress as possible. And that's the game I also really love, and the game that this game was really based on. So it's going to be really fun. Now, I'm not going to be constructing per se. Like, I'm not going to mine out and then build walls if I can help it. Like, unfortunately, like, in some cases I'm going to need to do that. Like right now, because I've made this boo-boo. Actually, you know what? No. This will become a feature. So, how I imagine this playthrough to be is that these three now have just crash landed, and they need a place to live, which they've got. It's a hole in a wall, in a mountain, literally a hole in the wall. There's nothing special about it. They don't have anything to defend themselves with. They don't really have anything to eat just yet. They're still surviving. Oh, well, let's look over here. The soft count. That looks pretty interesting. Alright, so let's take a look at the soft count. Alright, so Kespeak Cuisine, that's quite an interesting name. A count of the Red Dominion is calling from nearby. I assume this is royal stuff. It has to be. His account. He's being followed by an angry monkey. Okay, angry monkey, that's pretty terrifying. I have seen an angry monkey up close. Yeah, it was not a great experience. Spider monkeys can be quite aggressive. Anyway, back to the game. He only wanted to see the landscape on a quick walk and never expected such a deadly threat. Cuisine wants you to keep him safe at Colony, suppose that's colony name, for a few hours until his shuttle can come pick him up. He will not be offended by our body odors or lack of manners. You know what? Considering we live with cows in a cave, that's fairly nice of him. Prick. He will bestow 8 royal favor on whoever accepts this quest. Okay. You get psychic powers and psychic abilities. Okay, so I'm gonna accept with Ash, I guess. So he's running. Okay. Might just pause the game quickly for 1 second. Taking a look at this monkey. It's a healthy monkey. And it's just a monkey. So yeah, I don't know what the big deal is in RimWorld sense, but yeah, let's have a look. So you don't have a weapon, you have a weapon, and you have a weapon. Let's go. And you run over here. Are you useful? He's got Berserk Pulse, Visibility, Smoke Pop, Beckon, Pain Block, and Entry. This guy has no useful... Like, I can understand like another fight, but like versing something that's attacking you is not very useful. So you just stand there, I guess. Oh, run, shoot, run, shoot. Beckon, yeah, follow me. We're making useless things useful. Come back. Oh, I'm so sorry. You got... Oh, okay, you just got bruised. Perfect. Let's carry on with our lives. Right. So obviously you can see I brought a deep drill here. And that's going to be our sort of segue, because like these things were brought down for RP purposes. Because the fermenting barrel, the beer, those things, and the cows are what these three traded, or these two, Ash and Wolf, traded to actually get to board the ship. That's what they did. So unfortunately fortunately, they actually bought the cows because now they can get milk from it. But I find that milk having livestock is quite a difficult affair. Are you drinking my beer? Thank you so much, Noble, for drinking my beer. You know what? No, just... Wait, what? Shuttle leaving in... Jump to location. Oh, that's brilliant. That's... Okay, yeah, don't drink my beer. Get out of here. Yeah, so this is going to be deconstructed, much to Nail's annoyance, so that we can actually get a cooking area going. A fueled cooking stove. Fuel stove. There. Because I would like... So the RP purposes was that I brought the drill down because that needs to be deconstructed. Because that thing has moving parts. Perhaps those coils and springs could be used as like stove tops. Obviously they wouldn't just know how to create a stove offhand, but maybe using parts that they've been able to salvage is something that they can do in order to help the situation. What's happening? Shuttle leaving. I need to load. He's on there. Oh, send. Okay, goodbye. quest completed. Let's have a look. The soft count, yeah, okay, freeholder. Oh. Ash received the title of Yeoman? I'm gonna call it whatever. She's allowed to use these implants. She will receive the following items. If she dies, she is inherited by wolves. Okay, so it's like a royal family. So if she dies, her lover or husband gets the... Now that's pretty decent. Okay, that's very nice then. So where is it? Is this what it is? Do I need someone else to like install this on her? No, let's obey laws for now. Okay, so in terms of roleplay, let's imagine that these three were obviously shocked. I mean, first they got a random visit, they were like, who are you? Nail sort of barked them off and that's why they left so early. But this person, so obviously through whatever means are possible, with whatever was left over with his ship, maybe Nails actually received this communication and accepted the Count's request to come onto their property or their land so that he could escape the monkey, which is perfectly fine. So nothing wrong with that. Alright, so I'm just going to cancel all this. So as you can see, there are berry bushes here. So let's roleplay it that Ash will harvest and maybe understand like, oh, these are actually berries that we can eat, using her knowledge and her expertise as a grower, as a farmer. I'm gonna forbid this door. So she'll understand like, oh, okay, we can actually use these and not die. So that coupled with milk perhaps will be like how these people survive for the first couple of days. Okay, so she's got psychic powers. How do I view them? I suppose like with the other guy I drafted. So she's got pain block. Block pathways in the target's brain for a short time. This can allow a person to move and act even with grievous injuries that would normally incapacitate them. Alright, that's really cool. Okay. Thank you if you've stayed this far into the video. I'm impressed and thankful and grateful. I'm very excited to see how this series evolves, how the story evolves, how these people react with one another. It's going to be extremely interesting to see how that all like throws down. Yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult trying to like RP a story where there is actually no inherent story, if that makes sense. Like, this is not an RPG where this is like, okay, this is your character, these are what they're doing, this is their goal. So no, their goal right now is to make themselves a small home and try and survive until rescuers come. So I imagine that perhaps definitely Wolf would have asked that royal count, hey listen, is there any possible way of getting off this planet? And he just ignored them and left. But they have seen that shuttles exist on this world, so there's possibly an option. I mean, they can break onto a shuttle, or break into a shuttle, or steal a shuttle, possibly. Okay, these are not mechanic-based things. This is imagination-based things. This is something that doesn't exist in RimWorld. Like, in RimWorld, you can't steal a shuttle. In RimWorld, you can't be a dwarf. Obviously, these are all things that we are imagining, because this is what the story is. Story is imagination. And look at it. Since it looks like you'll be here for a while, Ash thinks that you should give your faction a name. What should your faction be called? Alright. So I thought about it, and in the world of the story, the place that they came from was a cave world, so it has to be something to do with underground. So I'm thinking Undermount. I'm going to say the Undermount Bears. Sounds a bit cheesy, a bit lame, but that's what the story calls for. It calls for bears, and those are going to be our exotic animals when we go out. That's going to be like the symbol. The bear represents this colony. As for this settlement, I haven't really given this much thought, but let's just call it, in the spirit of Dwarf Fortress, the Earth-struck Caverns. Okay, and that's what I think about that. Obviously you guys have probably noticed the autosave every half a day, and that's because in case the recording crashes or something goes wrong, I can immediately pick up where I get off instead of having to like save, like actually like manually save every now and again. Yeah, it's commitment mode. So something goes wrong, something goes wrong. I'm not going to be changing the game in any way. Just for a little proof, I can show you here options. There's no dev mode, obviously. All these are standard settings, and storytelling is Cassandra and Merciless. So yeah, it's going to be exciting, it's going to be enjoyable. And yeah, so let's just get a little bit more cleaning done, and then I think we're going to call this episode here. Don't want to make it too long. Again, guys, let me know if you enjoyed it, let me know if you didn't enjoy it. Leave a like if you want to, sub if you want to, share if you want to. Especially I'm a new channel and I really depend on you guys for everything. Please, if possible, give me ways to improve. Any criticism is helpful, even if it's negative, but hopefully I gain a following, and alongside you guys we can actually build this channel and build the series and see where the story takes us. So again, ladies and gents, I've been Wild Dog, and thank you.